Alex, a young high school senior, was looking forward to his school's end-of-year prom. However, there was a girl with a mysterious feeling in his heart and her name on his lips, Emily. Alex had been platonically in love with Emily for a long time. He wanted to go to the prom with her, so he plucked up the courage to propose to her. One day, he bravely approached Emily and asked her to accompany him to the ball. Emily thought about Alex's offer and finally accepted as Alex rejoiced. Emily's eyes took on a strange glint. For a moment, but the young man ignored this detail and spent the night of the ball daydreaming. When the night of the prom arrived, the school hall was filled with a magical atmosphere. Alex met Emily in the center of the hall, dressed in an elegant suit and dancing with a mysterious innocence. However, later that night, Emily's behavior began to change in a strange way. Emily had a strange coldness in her eyes, even when she smiled. When she danced, she moved like a marionette. Alex noticed this, but decided to ignore it. He thought they needed a second chance. When Emily looked at him with a strange sparkle, Alex felt a twinge of anxiety. Towards the end of the night, Emily convinced Alex to take her to the restrooms in the back corridors of the school. Alex was mysteriously drawn and tried to suppress his feelings, but when they arrived at the restrooms, the atmosphere suddenly changed. Emily turned to Alex with a strange smile. "I had a lot of fun with you," Emily said in a cold tone. "But not with you. I have other plans for tonight." Alex was jolted by the sudden closing of the bathroom door. The door was locked behind him, and he started to hear strange noises. Emily was starting to act like a psychopath in her fear. Alex realized that something had appeared next to her inside the toilet, a mirror on the wall. When Alex looked in the mirror, instead of his own reflection, he saw the reflection of Emily with bloodshot eyes and a sly smile. The real Emily had become this mysterious being, who had appeared behind her with a psychopathic laugh. The girl disappeared into the toilet and the door opened. Alex came out of the restroom in fear and went back to the ballroom. However, she couldn't tell anyone what had happened that night. Emily continued to pretend to be an innocent and mysterious girl, and Alex had to face the horrible memories of what he thought was the truth. Clara's life seemed like that of an ordinary high school student. She spent her days in classes and her evenings in her own world of books and dreams. However, an inner curiosity and desire to explore had always led Clara to have a desire to explore a different dimension. This desire would one day turn into an astral traveling experience. Clara's bedroom, with its old upholstery, was filled with black and white photographs hanging on the walls. They reflected the memories of her family and friends. It was like a doorway for Clara to dive into her dream world. One night, as Clara sat in her room again, her eyes were heavy with fatigue. Her eyelids became heavy and she took a deep breath. This moment would be the beginning of her experience of astral travel. When he stepped into the dream world, the atmosphere around him immediately changed. Clouds of gray mist pulled her into a strange, dark dimension. Clara felt the shadows of the creatures around her, and a deepening fear filled her. At one point, Clara was confronted by the ghost of the screaming woman from the previous story. Her eyes shone with fear and despair. Clara almost felt this spirit's cry of pain in her body. As she wandered through the dream world, Clara became more and more frightened with each creature she encountered. Terrifying figures surrounded her and emerged from the dark shadows. Gone was the peaceful atmosphere of the beginning of her astral journey, replaced by suffocating fear. Then Clara reached the mysterious door. When she opened the door, the room inside was the reflection of a nightmare. The walls were covered with bloody handprints and muffled screams. The mirror, as in the previous story, reflected not her own face, but the horrible scenes that had taken place. Clara was lost in this horror, however, after a moment. She took a deep breath and opened her eyes as she slowly returned to her room. She began to face the reality of the dream. However, her return to the real world was not a complete liberation. Although Clara felt awake, the atmosphere around her was still strangely tense. In one corner of the room, a mysterious energy from the astral world still lingered. Clara felt that the boundaries between the real world and the dream world were becoming more and more blurred. Could she have woken up? Or was this just another layer? Clara was lost in a dark limbo, no longer able to understand where the boundary between reality and dream was. The story ended in an endless loop in which Clara lived the dream of waking up. She would never wake up again, trapped between reality and dream.